Alright, welcome back guys. This is another episode of CB Rivals podcast. I'm joined here with Echoes and of course also another player. And this time, here it is. We got 3-time Assassin Award winning champion and player on the Dual Blades. It is the 4th champion in CB Rivals. The only player to ever have won 4 titles and all of the titles that are here in CB Rivals. And he's also gotten the CBL championship finally under his belt. It is Amya. Well, there you go. Welcome Amya.
Thank you. What a great introduction.
I couldn't get you the title for only winner of CB Rivals in the Discord, but I think this will do for now.
Yes.
How is it, man? Good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So again, congrats on the championship. How did you enjoy the season with No Beaches? Let's just start there, I guess.
The season was great in terms of team and not great in terms of meta. Like it was probably the worst meta I ever played in terms of my playstyle, dual blade, and everything. Because the change on dual blade, basically in tournament, I'm only useful to debuff the front lane and still cancel the supply, go in the back lane, annoy the people. But since I nerfed the ambush so much, I cannot do hero kill. I mean, I can still do them a bit. I'm still top 5, but yeah, I'm nowhere near the top 1 I was before. Like I cannot get so much kill like before. Yeah. But it was a really great experience to, even if I like play so much, I love all you guys, the club player, but changing team, after playing 1 year and 0.5 for the same team, then you change, it's like really different, I feel like it's a new game, new everything. So I'm really happy to experience something new.
Yeah, sounds good. Something new spices it up for sure, and definitely saw a different Amya this season. I mean, Echoes, you of course, welcome to you again as well.
Hey, how's it going?
Yep, good to have you in here. Yeah, Echoes. What did you notice in his playstyle this season?
To be fair with Amya, like normally when I do watch you in tournaments and whatnot, and when I have played with you in the past, like you would go and hunt, and you'd be hero killing. You'd be looking for those people who are away from the main blob. Where I think like this season, you're just like supply point interrupting. You're like if you're on defense, you're running out the side. Against buddy, when you took down that wall, like that was huge. I think you took like a full unit of Iron Reapers and a unit of shields as well. Yeah, exactly. So that's just diabolical.
Talking about that, I was so mad to not get like 10 seconds before. If I was 10 seconds before, it would have been the best thing ever. Like it would have killed the wall push. It would have been so good.
Yeah, totally. Well, like to me, it feels like almost like I think we've been making more comparisons to League of Legends lately. You were probably one of the best playing players if this game were League of Legends. But to me, it feels like your playstyle this season was kind of like I don't know, like top lane maybe, where you just you're just on your own. You have your own resources. No one is coming up for you. But you just create your own domain, and no one is allowed to get in there, and you just
I'm playing my own space. Exactly. It's like if you really compare it to League of Legends, it's like legit solo top lane, like playing Tryndamere. I'm always playing alone, never with my team. The only player I'm seeing in my team in game is Vasectomy, because he's the only one that come concept supply with me. But then apart of that, I legit never play. I think a single push with the team this season. Like the job that I have, it works pretty much on every map. So if I can describe it, it's pretty much like my job as dual blade. Because this season the map pool was allowing me on every map to do that. Is to draw as much pressure as I can. So if you work in terms of number, tournament is 15-15. But with dual blade, you can pretty much, if you play as best as you can always draw at least 2 players, and at max unlimited. Like the pressure that you can draw is really helping the main push out, because let's take Yebud the example again. Me and Vasectomy were perma-flanking supply cancelling, because since a lot of season it's base mechanic of the game, when you do a push next to a point, the enemy have the supply advantage. They can swap unit before you can, so you cancel it and they cannot swap, and they are stuck on it because they have no unit. So basically they are useless. You don't kill them. Even if I have the chance to kill someone on supply and he have no unit, if I have the choice to not kill him, I will choose to not kill him, because he's like complete AFK on supply if he's only chasing me. And this season it was really working like that. Yebudi, for example, again, it was 4 people that come supply on A with me and Rectomy. So it's like our main push, they don't even realize it, but they are already playing with a two people advantage, 2 more units than the enemy have. And a part of supply cancel, the job is with the Shuriken this season. The Shuriken got a buff for the people that don't know. The runes addition of the normal passive. You apply a 50% slow, 15% debuff, and you bleed the unit. And even if there is like multiple units, the damage mitigation is pretty low. So even if you hit like 20, 30, 50 units, the damage will still be alright. So yeah, this season was only cancel supply and eating blob of unit, and killing hero was not my job this season.
Yeah, definitely true. I mean, you were even the first one to get killed this season. That was quite a different perspective for your gameplay.
I remember getting up the wall to
Yeah,
wet
that
him.
was on wall fort in the first game. We were kind of trolling you on the cast, I think, like, oh, Amya, different team, he's not playing that well, stuff like this. But yeah, it's really fun. Good to have you on that perspective for once. So Echoes, you rightfully pointed out to me that the last couple podcasts have not been very structured, let's say. So we have a plan for this podcast. So
Let's go.
only a small one though. So Amya, we're going to talk about you being the GOAT in Conquerors Blade right now. Not sure if it's fair, but we're just going to play it. For sure, we're going to talk more about the Dual Blade. And I'm also really curious if you've considered playing a new weapon as well. I know the musket has been one and that
Okay.
I've been hearing about. And then the other thing is, what about Conquerors Blade as a bigger esports? Because Sea Rifles, the goal is to make Conquerors Blade bigger. I think we've done quite a good job with it. But I'm really curious to hear about your point, Anya, as well, because you're very vocal with your opinion about Conquerors Blade and the feedback that you give both the game and also Sea Rifles in a whole. So which one would you like to start with?
We can start in the order you just said. It's a pretty good order, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So calling me the GOAT, I think if I'm calling myself that is not really fair. But as what I can say as a matter of fact is I'm the person or the player that won the most tournament. I think there is no doubt about that. I mean, I do them since season 2, basically. So yeah, I have pretty much advantage because not a lot of people in Conquerors Blade focus on only tournament like me. For example, people really think sometimes when I'm talking to people that are not especially in the scene, in the esports scene or whatever you want to call it, they don't know me and they're like, yeah, you probably level like 5,000, 7,000, like all the U1 veteran. And I'm like, bro, I'm legit only level 2k, it's like, I don't play Siege, I only play, the only thing that I play ever is Ranked. I play it one season, I play them one season on 2, it's like only to get the flag, and then I don't play. Siege, I only play like to get level 50 for Cyber Rivals, then I don't play Siege ever. So yeah, my character level is really low, and for tournaments, that's the thing I focus the most. Obviously, deathmatch tournament. Since forever I main Dual Blade. So Dual Blade before all the nerf, and still is one of the best dual class. So deathmatch wise, I was really tryharding that. Like I'm a Fortnite kid, I come from Fortnite, and I think that game really teach you how to never stop practicing. Like I was practicing really 8 hours a day, and I was doing top 10 European, top 10 Europe, top 10 world sometime, and I wasn't earning money, so I was like, yeah, it was teaching myself how to try hard. So when I come to CB, that's what I did. From the level 0 to 100, I joined a French house because it was easier for me. I got teach the game a lot by some veteran, and then I was like, yeah, I know enough, thank you. And the red lead of the main roster of Rabbit from A1, I think most people know them. I got recruited into it at level 100. So then I joined the main 15 of that roster, of the main roster. I was like, yeah, I'm level 100. I'm in the best roster on main 15. I was like really happy. I tried it a lot with them. I learned a lot again because people in this red, they were a lot tryharding. It was like basically all the best European players at the time because it was the only people that were legit playing 24 hour a day. That really teach me everything. Then we made pusher kick. Pusher kick was also pretty the most stacked house ever, but it was not gonna work. It was, if you don't know, the main roster of Were Rabbit, so people call it the best house, blah blah blah, and the main roster of Injustice, which was the best Spanish house of everyone, and we were biggest enemy. You know, it was like we won an attack, they won an attack, then nobody win when nobody win attack, everybody win defense, and we made a pact that said we are gonna play together, and in the end it was so much drama. It was really insane. It was all the side at each other, and so we only stayed one season.
Yeah, definitely sounds like TW to me. Just all the different
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So,
it was really insane.
yeah, so let's go back. Let's go back to the tournament then. So, like I said, you've been playing competitive for a really long time, and I think especially on Dual Blade, you're one of the most recognized players, especially during the seasons in CB Rivals. Before that, I think you had players like Jackie Trin and Tinjev who were absolutely like popping off in CBL. Of course, playing with Surf Slayer when they were winning the championships. I think they were also considered like the best players at their time. Unfortunately, Jackie Trin not been playing that much. I don't know if he's even still playing, but you definitely
He's
took
still
over
playing,
as
but
the GOAT.
no tournament.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so definitely interesting. So Echoes, what do you want to ask Amya or talk about?
I just wanted to pretty much like get your ideas about how you thinking Dual Blade's doing this season. I know with the devs kind of pushing the runes with bow shurikens and whatnot, it's a bit weird for a lot of Dual Blade players. I feel like the build this season is a lot more related to, I'd say, the chain dart with its right click and whatnot, and like that kind of stuff more than it was about the old times where, you know, the invis build with the ambush. And I just really want to get your opinion on it, because I was waiting for you to weigh in overall with the feedback. Like there's stuff on like the official Discord for a while, and I was just like, I'm waiting for like either Tinjev or Amya to really kind of throw their opinions in on this, because you two are pretty much the main two guys I know who have been playing Dual Blades since day one. So yeah, what you thinking?
Okay, so I did my two feedback on both official My Games and Frontier. I think they got stopped because like the CM said it got way enough at really fast paced, so he closed the topic and he said they will say to the dev. And about this season, it's legit not dual blade. People know dual blade as twin Vs, playmaker. You can make plays. You have twin Vs, so you can sneak on supply. You can sneak behind the enemy line. You can maybe snipe exotic. And they, like you said, they really forced us into a singular playstyle that is shuriken. And I described it before. It's legit. You are only useful to fight in the front lane to debuff and in tower. If you play as that, or cancel supply, because since they nerfed the damage so much, I can describe the change really fast. Since the season 3, they nerfed the ambush damage, they nerfed the ambush penetration by 70%, they nerfed the auto attack damage by 20%, they nerfed the ambush damage again by 50%, and they put a cooldown on the ambush damage, and they nerfed the butterfly damage. The only thing that they upgraded is the ult damage to make it more of a prestige class, you know. So yeah, it's really bad change. I would say it's a change that pushed the most of the dual blade to be a prestige bot. So basically, what I mean with that is you get one kill every 40 seconds when you have your ult, and then you are useless. Before it was really great in this playstyle. You had a lot of CD, long CD, but still every spell was giving you the opportunity to make a kill. My butterfly is, if I play good as a kill, both my ambush were basically a kill. It was like doing 8k, 9k, my ambush was 11, 12k, my butterfly. So, like you said, it's really changing, and I think everyone ate it. Like the dual blade mains ate it, and the player that face it ate it. It's like, who like to be annoyed by a shuriken that literally slow you by 50%, disappear, reappear, throw again, disappear, and it's legit. I hate it. People meme on me because I always said that shuriken is gay. I was always saying shuriken is not the playstyle. But then they forced us into it, and I was like, Yeah, I will not play ambush. My ambush is 3 seconds CD to do less damage than my auto
Yeah,
attack.
exactly.
Yeah.
At the point, I don't know if you know, making an auto attack is legit more damage than the ambush because the animation is way faster. So ambush is so much of a dead spell. It's legit. You don't do it. Like you auto attack to cancel your envies, or you make the kick. The kick is doing twice or 3 times the damage of the ambush if
Yeah,
you
the
have
kick
some
was
blend
pretty good,
damage.
and also the CC. Yeah.
Yes.
So then when you look at the meta, you were also talking about the meta earlier. How do you feel the current units, play with dual blade in general? Then.
This season, pretty one of the best season, I would say. Monks and the direction the game is going on, they are making more and more of I would say, really low skill unit. You press a button and that's it. Like
Yep.
Monks, you can play it with dual blade. You can flank with it because it's great in terms of 1v1. And with the shuriken, you basically cannot lose any single matchup. Um, then I was playing monks, so either I play them in a push, I press 2 and I go away, either I flank with them. I was playing camel, really good flanking unit. You, if you come from the back, you will get face to face with all the cav that is waiting to go in the push, so win the matchup. People are taking maiden into defending supply, which is a really bad choice, I would say. And the camel wipe them. And again with the shuriken, I wipe them also. So camel, monk, and then the I can take a cav, either dagger axe or the new cav.
Yeah.
Again, really low skill and really low
Oh yeah.
time management. That is the main thing. It's not about skill unit. Even if the unit was requiring me to do like a lot of macro, a lot of micro in the same time and everything, it will not be a problem. The only thing that you need to watch about when you play dual blade is how many time you will need to play that unit for it to be useful. And that 3 unit, all the units that are meta right now, they are really low time consuming. Like monk, you play them for 21 fights, 30 seconds basically. The cav is the same. You like one push, that's it. And then the camel is exactly the same. So yeah, for the dual blade in terms of spell is really bad, but in terms of unit is one of the best season, I would say.
Quite good. Yeah. Yeah, and the camels worked really well for you, especially on the last round. If we go back to the league this season, on White Oak Fort, I think that is White Oak Fort one of your favorite maps to play on, with the way that you play flanks on.
I would say it's the best map for dual blade. It's no map are even close to it. It's so open. There is so many directions you can enter and exit the city from. So basically, also the base RT is one of the best placement ever. In defense, you don't see it much on the records because obviously people won't make the main camera for one player. But I'm legit 80% of the time outside. Whenever the enemy team is setuping for A push on stairs or breach, you can take purple cannon and legit wipe full unit.
Yep.
You can also take ballista, wipe full unit, and then you can take their supply. So it means if people come back from A, they have more time to swap. And also when they respawn, they also need to cap it again. And from there, if nobody die and they're only preparing a push, you can take any flank unit. So Cav if they go by bridge, Assassin if they go by the top, and it worked every game, even if the people expect it. That's the good thing.
They just can't do anything about it, right? They need to send 2 or 3 people.
Legit, yes.
They probably won't kill you, and even if they kill you, then they
that's
need to
the
spend
main
just
thing
the
about
same amount of time to get back to the team. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
the main
so
thing about
obnoxious.
flank.
Yeah.
The things about flank, which a lot of people don't understand, is that more okay, you can send 2 or 3 people and you will win. Like obviously, like, the game limit you, so I cannot win. But what people forget is that it doesn't mean that I will fight you. Like if I see that I cannot win, I will just legit run, and your 3 people will be useless. And at the second they start to run away, I come back, and they are forced to stay. So that's the main thing about a good flanking player and a bad flanking player. I would say like. You need to know when you take the fight and when you make them lose time, and that's really good defense.
Well, you definitely know when to pick a fight and when not to pick a fight. I think during the last round that you guys played against Argonauts and White Oak Fort, I think it did quite a good job on the camera, always showing also the flank that was going on with you, and Vasectomy I think was also often joining you outside. So I do recommend people rewatching that game and just seeing like how obnoxious it was what you guys were doing outside the city. It was pretty crazy.
We killed we killed Ashashin, Shield Maiden, Kokos,
Yeah.
Pref Archer, Liaos, Daggerox,
Mm.
with only 2 units, so it was a really great flank.
Yeah, it was just nuts. It was good stuff.
And also the
Absolutely.
stand-up montages as well.
Yeah, Echoes, go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say, even watching Amya's montages, like you've seen being obnoxious as just it. I think it's one of your recent ones. You had like 6 people on the supply point chasing you.
Yeah, that was the kebab game, the CBL move, if I can say. That's probably one of my best supply console of all time. It was in the CBL first game
Mhm.
against Kebab on Eilong, and I was cancelling supply with vasectomy. And at some point, there were 2-3 people to start with because they started with suicide units, so they directly come back to swap. And it was their big mistake, where on CBL, when you have no def, you die the first time, but they were coming back to supply already. So at first, it's 3 people, then 4, and at the end, if you look at the video, it's like 8 people on supply waiting to swap, and they legit just leave the point because they are like, yeah, we are not swapping unit, we go back.
That was really entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. All right. So just to make sure we covered it, I want to make sure that we go over the standings, and then we'll talk more about the other stuff that I want to talk about. So I'm just going to show you guys the Rustic division first, so that you guys know what happened. It's also on YouTube again, so make sure to check it out. Amya, do you watch some of the Rustic games? Because I know your former teammates are playing in like NFW, Land
Yes,
Fair also.
I watch the match that where my friends are, so NFW and Golem Life, which is a French team that I really liked. A lot of my friends are in it,
Nice.
so yeah, I watch both this match.
Good. Yeah, definitely. Golem's Life played a match against the Primes. Unfortunately, we didn't see the tiebreaker match in Grasslands because they started
sadly.
without a streamer, so it's very sad. But it happened. I think Golem's Life won it. So yeah, good job for them. They ended 5th in the season now. But yeah, semifinals happened in last round. So no scrims free win against TBD. I think everybody expected no scrims free win with Temple Shot as their interim team leader, former Plebs team captain, of course. We'll talk more about team captains later on me as well. But yeah, no scrims free win. We're expected to get the win here easily against TBD, but TBD really strong. And from what I heard, Heather actually almost threw the game by dropping the points on the final capture point there. So TBD almost making it to the final, which would guarantee a promotion to the highest division next season. But now TBD has to play semi-final or the 3rd place match, and no scrims free win going to the final. And then nice try against Land Fair, probably one of the sickest matches that I've seen in the closing minutes. Have you guys seen it?
No.
No,
I
you should watch it. So it was only Argos King, the Spanish streamer, who was streaming it. But like in the last 3 minutes, it was just a deathmatch, and Yen on Dual Blades was popping off, was insane. He had over 14 kills, I think, in the end. And they were just nice try. Were just selling all the time outside the little castle in Reginopolis. So it was a 2-0 in the end as well. They finished it from Reginopolis on the defense, and it was just nuts because with 3 minutes to go, the game crashed for the streamer, so we couldn't see what's going on. It was only like a few seconds needed to capture the point. Only heroes alive. So just when he joined back in the last minute, they were fighting on the point like just pure deathmatch, and it went to like the last second. And nice try, just were able to hold it. It was nuts. Suspense was real there. Yeah, it was good stuff.
Should look great.
Yep. So I recommend watching it back just the last few minutes for sure. So nice try against No Scrims free win in the final. Also Reginopolis best of 3 this Sunday. What is it? May 21. And then also TBD against Land Fair for the 3rd place match. And the 3rd place match, the one who wins it is going to promote as well. So gonna be interesting to see. And then let's go to Field Division, because well, you guys picked up the win, so no beaches, now guaranteed champions. Finally made it. After the absence of Plebs and of course also Surslayer. But Odin's Legion, Yabadi, Pondguard and Why So Serious could all still end up in 2nd or 3rd place. Like only Why So Serious cannot make it to 2nd, but all the other teams can. So we could have crazy amount of tiebreakers after next round, which could become quite chaotic if it does make it that way. So I'm really curious what you guys think about the current standings, but just to give you guys an idea, in the last round we're gonna have Pondguard against Odin's Legion, we're gonna have Argonautas against Yeah Buddy, Why So Serious against Endgegner, And no, Beaches already got the points from Apes, so that match is not going to be played. So let's say, why so serious against N-Gegner? Why so serious win? They go to 8 points. Then, suddenly, if they will be tied with Yeah Buddy at 8. So if Yeah Buddy then get a tie against Argonautas, then Argonautas would go to 6 points. They would demote, so sadly for them. But if Yeah Buddy get a tie, then they would also be sitting at 9 points. Then if Pondguard wins against Onus Legion, Pondguard also goes to 9 points. And then we have 4 teams sitting at 9 points, all fighting for second place. And this is...
That would be insane. Eh?
That would be insane, and it could be pretty real. So that would mean we basically have to fight like a small mini tournament. But there could also be tiebreakers for like 5th place between White Sirius and Argonautas, or 3rd or 4th place between like so many teams. So crazy stuff can happen in the last round. We could also have no tiebreakers at all, of course. So it's gonna be fun. So what are you guys thinking about the last round?
Me, I think there is definitely some favorites, but what I like is that, for example, the team that before not to be win or whatever, people were considering them as free win, are now strong enough to like really put a good fight and like really put you in situation where they can win even if you do a little mistake. My best example is Argonaut. Before they were really considered as like really mid team, so everyone could take them. But no, if you play them, they definitely put a good fight, and they definitely know how to exploit sometimes the fact that they maybe have less tryhard player. They really put some cheesy strat. For example, White Elk with the full cav. Sometimes they know how to swap full cavs. They know how to swap full Monk Maiden to push a wall and rush it. And it's really great from them because it's really the playstyle they need to adapt. Because if their players don't want to tryhard as much as the other, they don't play as much. They have nearly not as much as experience. So they really put the strategist ahead, and the guy, he do a really, really good job at making cheesy strat to give him the opportunity to win even team that he isn't supposed to win because of the experience and all of that. So it's really great to watch.
Yeah, definitely. So Ekas, what about you? I know we've talked about similar stuff in the stream as well.
Yeah. No, it's definitely close. I feel like it's probably going to be like an Odin's Yeah Buddy kind of tiebreaker for second. Pongard have really, they got to kind of fight Odin's for a tiebreaker. You're looking at them going 2-0 against Odin's anyway, and Odin's are on top form at the moment, so it'd be quite difficult to get that. And definitely as Pongard, we've said this a number of times now, like their defense lacks quite a lot compared to their attack.
No.
So that's gonna be a bit interesting. Yeah, buddy, Argonauts could start coming back. Like they have performed pretty well this season. They have dropped in the last couple of weeks, but overall they are doing pretty well. But that's going to be a very difficult fight for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's going to be a really important fight for them as well. Like Argonautas, if they don't, even if they win against Yeah Buddy, if Wisel Sirius win against Endgegner, Argonautas will still be in 6th place and demote. So for them, to win their match is so important. If they just get 1 point, then they depend on Endgegner winning against Wisel Sirius. So from another perspective, you could also say Endgegner cannot gain anything, but they can make another team lose. They basically decide who gets to demote this season. Yeah.
Exactly. And between them and Why So Serious for the 6th spot, it's I think they've definitely got the harder match. So they really got to dig in deep if they want to keep in the league. Why So Serious and Endgegner, I don't know, still debating whether it's going to be a meme match because Endgegner are pretty far down now. They can't really do anything. They can't even get to 6th place right now. They're 3 points under. So are they going to meme it, or are they going to try and bring Why So Serious down with them? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then like I said, I agree with Pondguard. Pondguard looked so like they had their first defense win last week in the last round. So that was their comeback, you could say, was against Endgegner. So kind of expected, but still they struggled really hard on the defense this season. Finally able to get it after I muted myself in stream as well. So I think that's why they got it. So yeah. We'll see if Pondguard can get another one against Odin's. Pretty sure it's going to be a really cool match, no doubt what happens. So
yeah, I feel like it'll probably be the biggest match out of the three of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. It's also the last match, so that will be fun. It's on Hidden City, for those who didn't realize. So I think it's quite a good map as well to get some stuff on. So yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be good. Yeah, Rustic Division. I'm not sure if we need to talk about that one anymore than we did already. But I do want to talk about the team captains, Amya, because you now played with 2 of the 3 most famous team captains. We got Mask Flames with Surf Slayer, former CBL champion. We got Plebs, former Plebs, or what do I say, Temple Shot, former Plebs. And then we have Matt Shin that you're playing with now. I think those 3 are like the biggest generals you could say in Conquerors Blade right now, at least in the competitive scene. So what's it like playing with those 2 team captains?
I actually played with 3 of them, but Master not as team captain, but house member. It was great. Temple, I would say, Temple and Machin are really not comparable. They really do not do the same job. Temple, for example, like plebs back in the days, we were a team less stacked than when we were in the CBL, I would say, and all the CBL Asia, all of that. We were more focused on strat and everything. We were testing a lot of things, doing a lot of things. And at this time, Temple was really doing the how to say, the strat and everything, but he was like the main person that was organizing everything. So he was like really organizing how we do the strat, how we do this, how we do that, and everything. He was giving the roles to people and everything. And as in game, he was a really great red lead. And the more we get ahead with plebs, the more we recruit stacked player. And in the end, at some point, we, after the CBL Asia mostly, we screamed so much in CBL Asia, and we were the only team to do that, that we, at the time, I think nobody can deny it, we were like so ahead that we were not even doing strat and everything, we were like just playing, and legit it was working because we acquire so much experience compared to other that it was working really great. And at that point, Temple transitioned from being, you know, a real captain, strategist and everything to, how to say, you know, the person that is guarding the kid when you are. He's like it was like he was like guarding us, you know. He was like managing all the drama, managing all the ego. Because at some point, plebs was just an ego fiesta, like, and myself, I'm more like, me, Vasek, we were one of the biggest problem of the team always. Then it was like, I will not quote name, but you know, so much ego and so much thing. We like nobody dislike each other. Okay, I mean, we hate. Some people hate each other in the team. Like I would like legit hate. But when we play, they are memeing on it. So it wasn't much of a problem. You know, it was like they were flaming each other, but in a way to troll. So it was alright. But they really hate each other. But it's whatever. And at some point, it was still working only because Temple was managing it. Whenever someone was taunting, you get muted. Whenever someone wants to make problem, you are in the bench for the next match. So yeah, at some point he was less of a red lead because the game, like I said, we didn't even need to really lead it. We just had a base plan. The base plan was like, we defend here, we do that, and then in the game, we had people like Dunkel, me, Sly Java, like everyone was saying, okay, we should take that fight now. Okay, no, we should not do that because you can just take that fight and it's better. And then people realize, okay, you are right, that's better. And we were like just adapting to the game more than doing plan and planning anything. So yeah.
You guys reached like Super Saiyan mode or something, like next level team synergy, stuff like this.
It was so much synergy after playing 1 year together. Like it was one of the best strengths. Like I said, we didn't have a plan, but yet Whitewood plan, you know that me and Vasek will be on the flank on supply. You know that Java or Slide will be probably flanking with Claymore or Maiden. You know that Seki is probably flanking with Cav at the same time. Like everyone know each other, and since we all play with basically the same skin and the same unit, well, you don't even need to press W to see the name. Like if I see, for example, blue skin with Shield Maiden, I know it's Java. If I see Temple with his sickness mask, something like that, I know it's Temple, you know. It's like every time everyone know each other. So it was really particular playstyle, and I
I
don't
see.
think I will ever find it again a part of play.
Yeah, maybe in the future we'll talk more about it later. So,
Yes,
yeah, definitely
and
interesting to hear. And then Matchin, what's different with him?
my biggest difference is most people know it is the strat and the energy that he puts in the team.
Hmm.
Like the energy that he put in the team is not even close to any other captain, and I can say it way too duped. Even if I don't know most captain, I know what they do approximately, and it's enough to say that Machin do like probably 3 times the job they do.
Mhm.
Not like I don't say he do better than them, but he do at least 3 times the
Yeah.
amount of it.
Yeah, he puts in
So
sick amounts of time. Like he showed me at some point where he had like I think 200 or 400 spreadsheets of unit setups for the CBL Asia
for the
because of
CBLS,
the
that was
events.
taking every ban,
Yeah,
everything,
like
every map.
everything is
So
calculated, which
yes,
is mind blown. Yeah,
and
and that's
we like to meme with it on no beaches that were before we come with me, Vasek, and before that it was even Bird Dunkel before Plebs reform again for the CBL.
mhm.
Um, we like to meme on the no beaches as Machin is is like the game master and the 14 other people are just bots following order. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
they're like robots. Like they do like Machin playing everything at the on the plan at the
hmm
second at whatever they do. And if you are like a good robot and you learn everything, you learn the position you need to be because with the amount of effort he put in, he playing most thing people will do, and you can play most thing because CB when you strat it isn't so much of a hard game when you understand it. Like there is not much possibility
hmm
that the enemy will do that is not totally int. So you can play most thing, and if you follow everything, it's supposed to go alright. But sometimes, obviously, if something don't go alright, someone fails, you
hmm
need people that have less of a robot playstyle and more of adaptability.
Yep.
So that's what Machin was looking for when he bring me, Vasek, and
Mhm.
when he was looking for Bird, Dunkel, and all of that. So more adaptability, definitely. And I think right now we are on a really good mix where there is the like a good half of the players that are following match in order, not saying much. Obviously they call if there is a calf flanking or whatever,
Mhm.
but they are not the type of player that will lead things and decide, okay, we shouldn't do that, we shouldn't do that.
No.
And there is for the balance. For example, I'm one of the group lead, so Machin he trusts me enough, to make my own decision. So sometimes he say, okay, you should push, and I say, no, 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 we shouldn't really not push right now. I bring adaptability, like I said.
Yeah,
Same for other group.
it's more
So
more
balance.
improvisation, you could say. Like
Yep, exactly.
there's really strict plan, but
Improvisation.
now there's also room for improvisation to make sudden changes, make new plans
If something
in the middle
fail,
of the
you
game.
trust
Yeah.
that new player to say,
hmm
okay, we can do that, we can do that, because when you're alone and you need to manage everyone, you need to say, okay, you need to do
hmm
that. No, okay, that group you need to do that. No, please don't do that. You don't have time to maybe think, take a look back at what you could have done if the situation failed,
hmm
and that's why he bring more of people like us
Yeah.
that are mostly playing what we plan and just adapting in the game
Yeah.
actually. So
That's
yeah, it's a
good.
really good balance right now, and it's matching as a really this. First, he's my friend, and he's one of the best Reddit, obviously, like and he proved it with the
hmm
to a roll strat, all the strat, and even
hmm
back in the days with the Ari tournament,
hmm
where he took 10 Namkan. I know he's really proud of that strat. He took it was a T4 on the tournament, no RT,
Yeah.
and on Identity, he took 10 Namkan, and he destroyed every tower, and the enemy couldn't do anything, they couldn't push gate,
Yeah. Exactly.
because it was Coco and Forte, it was enough to all 15 people, and they couldn't push the wall because people were kicking ladder. So yeah, they just lose the game by legit doing nothing. It was
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Just our defense in Conquerors Blade. Yeah.
Yep.
It was already a game mode with matching before it became game mode in Conquerors Blade, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right. Echoes, back to you.
To me, what about back to me? I'm trying to think.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, nah, honestly, Amya, you talk so much.
Yeah.
Go into great detail about it, and yeah, it does sound like Shen probably needs to calm down a little bit with spreadsheets and all this. No, it's good that you and a couple others have managed to join the team because you know it's with no beaches. Like your hero play is insane. You're always disrupting the enemy in one way or another. If it's flanking or if it's just you're sending a couple of muskets or whatnot up on the walls to destroy like special units. I know in the first couple of weeks, I think you had like 3 musket players, and they literally took out like all the specials of any attackers before anything could really happen. And it was always entertaining watching you guys go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The funniest
definitely.
game that we played.
Also, just that, like at some point, Machin stacked too hard on the musket players. I think he dropped Socialist Hippie, for example, and
Yes.
who picked him up? I think I think Odin's picked him up, right?
Odin's
Yeah,
picked
Odin's
him
was, yeah.
with Pustoy.
So, but still, you guys had like Iokudin, Zenga, like so many fucking good players on the musket that are all
Yes,
leading
Fly,
or sitting
everyone.
top 3 in unit stats and most assists, most troops, most hero kills, whatnot. So, yeah.
Will
guys-
It was
no beaches
really-
be playing anymore? Any tiebreakers or anything? Because I know they've won, but
No, there's
that's it,
nothing
that was
we
it.
can play. Yep.
Just that.
so
About,
what
about
team?
the match you just said, because you know the Ungainer match from the first season,
Mhm.
it was the funniest match I played. It was first time we really played with each other
Mm.
and unofficial, and it was like people every few seconds people were calling, okay, I got 1 exotic, and then people were
Yeah,
waiting
yeah.
and we were like, okay, it's alright, and then 20 seconds later, okay, they took another, we got it, okay, another took it, okay, another took it, and it go away for like 8 cocoa, I think they took, like
Yeah, it
they
was
took
nuts.
a crazy amount of cocoa.
It was just like because like so this was round 1 for those who aren't following. So round 1, wall fort, no beaches against Endgegner. You guys were defending, Endgegner attacking, and Endgegner were just not synced on like getting this alien to the wall. So even though you died, I think somewhere in the first minutes, after
Yep.
that you and Vasectomy keep going out, using artillery, killing coconuts that were retreating, getting new ammo, and then at some point, I think everybody basically went out. Like 1
Yeah.
or 2 players every single time was so funny to see, and Endgame just couldn't do anything about it. Yeah.
Legit, if you look at the end scoreboard,
Mm-hmm.
legit like 8 of our players got at least 4 or 6 cocoa, because
Yeah.
like you said, because you know obviously when you go for a cocoa you suicide to get all of them and it's really hard to not die.
Mhm.
It's like me and Vasek go, we die, but we get 1 cocoa. Then the time we respawn, it's Zenga and up that go and
Yeah,
die
exactly.
for another cocoa. And then it was Machin and Weeds, and then it was
Yeah,
no
just
mercy. And, you know,
everybody.
it was
Yeah, exactly.
going and going and going, and everyone got a cocoa in the end. It was like at the end we were like we couldn't really play because everyone was legit like screaming, "Okay, I got a cocoa, I got a cocoa again!" And it was so funny that
Yeah.
it was really hard to play.
It basically
That's
became
brilliant.
a game of like whack a cocoa or something. It was
Yeah,
just
it was
doing
really
Get
so
most
much.
special units.
Yeah, kind of sad. Yeah, so sad game for Endgame, but really fun start of the season, that's for sure. But yeah, Endgame slowly getting better, luckily for them. So hopefully they'll do some good stuff in Rustic Division next season. We'll see if they can manage. Yep.
I was about to say, with no beaches, obviously, you guys are going for #1 spot right from the beginning anyway. But were there any teams that either you thought were going to be really weak but end up being quite strong, or you thought, oh, this is going to be a really tough match, and then they were too easy?
I have the. It's a bit of taunt, but I don't care.
Yeah, just be honest.
There is the 2 cases from the people that we took were weak, and we definitely didn't expect them to be so good. Like I said before, Argonaut.
Mhm.
You know, I don't want to be mean, but like I said, they're way less experienced, they try hard way less the game. So
Yeah.
we were expecting, you know, to not roll on them, but obviously to like win pretty easily.
Mhm.
And then we screamed them a lot from the beginning. And I don't know whether they changed this season, but I think they realized that they couldn't fight the enemy team to their own playstyle if it's a top team.
Mhm.
So they needed to bring the enemy team to their playstyle, and that's what they did. They really, like I said, created new strat to cheese to like make them a lot of opportunity, and it's not giving them opportunity. I would say it's more giving the enemy opportunity to do mistake. So if you do that mistake, then they will surely get that win easily.
Mhm.
So really great. And about the match that we didn't expect to win so much, I would say it's Yebudi. Like we were really afraid of that match.
Mm.
Most of like me and Vasek are like we know each other, and we are like we always say that a match is gonna be free win, because if you don't trust in yourself, whoever would you want to play. So we always said it was gonna be a good match, but I know most of people were a bit scared of that match. But then the match was going so great for us. It was going insanely good. And the beginning of the match started by Weeds crashing. So we were like, okay, it's finished. It's done. It's GG. And then the first push come, the breach incident come. It's like kill two of the unit, and then the push go ahead, and we like win it by like 200 unit advantage.
Yeah.
And we were like, holy shit, that's a fucking tons of unit advantage. I don't know how we win it so much. And then he said, but bro, I was not even here. Wait me. And then the second push come, and it's even a bigger gap. It was like at some point it was 500 unit gap. And then we know it was win, and then we were so happy to win that match 2-0. Because the attack on that map, we knew it was pretty much win. And the defense was carrying us. And then when we took that first fight, some people said, okay, nobody was saying a thing, but everybody was thinking, okay, it's going good, we can win.
Exactly.
And then on the second push, it was good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and also echoes of, I think we saw that match, right? We saw where the breach got destroyed and the units fell down, and then you could just see that, buddy, were kind of not sure about, like, they wanted to still push that supply, but you knew that they had like damage units, they were a few units short, and just
I think losing his
right
imp shields, I think losing his imp shields and his Iron Reapers are just such a massive hit for the attacking side anyway, who want to be like aggressive.
The thing is that because they pushed off the walls, they didn't have camel. They had only some forte braccio, and they had only 2 imp shields. So you get deleted 1 imp shield, you cannot cover your full front lane. Then they had no camel, so the anti-cav was not that good because they were pushing a supply, so it was really stacked, and the forte braccio were hitting the front.
Exactly.
So me and Vazek come. I know you didn't see it on the stream. I rewatched that match a lot to analyze it.
Good.
And we flanked with dagger axe, and it's like no anti-cav. So I got 80 unit kill. Vazek got 50 unit kill. And it was like, at this point, it was the breach, the dagger axe. I was like, okay, this is my game. I want to win.
Yeah, exactly. That's good stuff. Yeah, and just going back in general, like, so I definitely agree. Like, Argonautas at the start of the season were just popping off. They were even able to contest you guys for first place in round 4, I think, because they had just won every single match. And now slowly they might be demoting at the end of the season, which is crazy if you think about it. And buddy, I think definitely one of the teams that we expected more of, right? I mean, of course, season is not over. They can still finish second place, but they being a team that is kebabs and plebs players mainly, like definitely expected for them to do so much better. And I think Echoes was you said on stream as well that like these guys are all like playing TW together, I think in 108 house, right? And then but you could kind of see the playstyle where they all pick like Monk, Forte Braccio, and some Cav, for example, like all the same units. And then we just go hard and then win or lose, basically.
Yeah, we see it when we prepared for the match, and the thing that we expected is them to take a lot of Maiden, and that's what they did. They took a lot of Maiden and Monk, so that was way less anti-cav, like I said. So that's like the main reason they lose, I think, so hard that first push is that they took a lot of Monk Maiden, and we expected it, so we took the best setup to counter it. And since they had only one playstyle that they're focusing on, and I don't blame them, it's a new team. Even if you put only good player in a team, that doesn't mean that team will perform, because
you need to
tournament is so much more than like only personal skill. It's like the team play is biggest part of it. You see it, you clearly see it with Nobiches at some point. Nobiches had no star player, had no like. When you looked at the team, people were mostly memeing on them. It was like, you guys have no good player and shit, but still they were like at the first match.
Yeah, definitely.
The most performance was Cerslayer. That Cerslayer match, I think that's really started where people say, okay, maybe even if they are not have the best player, they are definitely a threat for us. They definitely know to play the game.
Yeah, definitely. That was also the first match against Cerslayer where on Hidden City, actually, they defended on the wall. Crazy strategy by Matchin to destroy the tower, stuff like this, and then outsmarted them. So with the what you said this season with the like team synergy, you can see it with Argonautas, you can see it with Odin's. Like, of course, Odin's has Dan as their like star player for sure, but then the rest of the team just really seems to play well, and that's how they find their wins, like you already said about Argonautas before. And then another team that has been doing that, Amya, don't forget about it, is Why So Serious. So, do you even still want to go back to that match?
I don't want to. It's the most. It's the I call it the no bitches curse. If you look at every CB rival season, they always either tie or win versus the best teams. They tie Slayer, they tie Pleb. They win most of the hard match, Odin's front guard, and then they legit throw the game against a match that they are supposed to win. Like, you know, even Why So Serious were memeing on it. They were like, yeah, we are never gonna win.
And
we're
rightfully
like,
so,
It was
because
so
just to
hyped.
add another thing, it was also your championship match on paper, so yeah.
Yep, I know. So the thing is that Machine was like, people were already expecting to win, and Machine was like, guys, still focus. We need to win that match. And then the match, I don't want to details what happened, but it's so many little things that lead to a like it couldn't been more bad for us, and it couldn't been greater for them, you know. It's like everything bad could have happened for us, and then everything great could have happened for them. And I'm really happy for them, you know. Like, nobody of us took it bad. We were like definitely memeing on it. Like, we had a great time with them. It's legit fun. We are just mad to lose the no lose season, because
the perfect
if
season
we won,
still not done. And actually, I double checked.
Nobody ever.
Yeah, actually, it hasn't happened. So even Plebs in the first season, I think it was Plebs that were undefeated in their group, but then in the playoffs they of course lost in the best of 5 a few games against Pontgaard. So even they still haven't gotten the perfect record.
And then we tied the third Slayer of the season
exactly.
1.
Yeah, so it's still on the table, the perfect season, and that's pretty cool. I like it.
Yes.
So we'll see maybe next season. Who knows? So yeah, that'll be good. One topic I definitely want to talk about with you guys, because Echoes, I know you're also desperate to talk about it with me, is the future of Conquerors Blade and CB Rifles specifically. So let's put it on the table.
Yeah, so what are you thinking about next season so far? I think we'll start with that.
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, are you looking at bringing CB Rivals back again next season? Or
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, oh, you mean like the next Conquerors Blade season?
Yeah, so season 16.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So, so right now we've had 4 seasons, right? Within a 1-year period. We started March 2022. The first 2 seasons or 3 seasons were really fast after each other, and then we took a small break because CBL happened, and now we have had this season, which is the 4th season, even though it's called season 3. So we normally, of course, everybody wants a small break, right? You just need a few weeks in between to like get stuff sorted out, get new teams in, everything else, like just get the organization going. So definitely we're always gonna take a few breaks. That's like just a few weeks as a break. And ideally, we would have like a CB Rifles, a CBL, a CB Rifles, a CBL. That is my like perfect picture of how it should go. Because then CB Rivals could always be the league, and then you would have CBL as the like European Championship or North American European Championship. Although we know that CBL doesn't always happen. So I'm kind of reevaluating right now, and it's very dependent on like how many casters and streamers we have as well, because I don't like it if only the highest division gets streamed, which like the last 2 rounds that we've had this season, because of in real life stuff, like for example Echoes, right? You working and a few other guys also had to work or do some other stuff. So we haven't always been able to get all the games the attention that they need, and so that's something that's been like my main concern. But just for organizing it, it's quite easy to just say, all right, here's the schedule, here's the teams, just play it out and go figure it out. But I think that's not what CB Rifles should be. So I definitely hope to get like the casting streaming team within the next couple of weeks, and then if there's also the support that I need from my games, then we'll definitely continue within next season. And I can already tell, like I'm making some plans for slightly changing the schedule slightly, so that it's like more kind of a shorter season, but also with an extension. you get more info later, I guess. Yeah.
Wait for the announcement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Still not
Literally.
specific, but yeah. But
That's
yeah,
good.
those are like the main things, in my opinion. So
Yeah, I've also been noticing that you're putting a few recruitment messages out, I guess you could say
Mhm.
here, where obviously you're looking for like, data staff and whatnot as well. So how many people are involved with the CB Rivals other than like just the casters and you?
mhm.
Is there anyone
Yes.
else in the background, or are you doing this a lot yourself?
Well, so it's basically like, so I'm organizing all the stuff essentially, and then I have Crystal Valkyrie from the Valkyrie channel, who's doing like great stuff for the House Alpha. If you have seen those on YouTube, it's like a small documentary about like TW. It's really cool. But he's been creating all the like overlays, trailers, and stuff like this, and also the intro videos that we did at the start of the season. So it's basically always a like back and forth for the content between him and me. And then I have a few moderators, so mostly it's like 3 or 4 moderators. We're helping out with the team registration stuff, so like creating the team names, creating the roles in the Discord, handing out the team roles or the player roles. So that's like another. So then you are like five extra hands that are helping me, and then we have the whole casting team, of course, which changes a bit, but it's always between 10 and 20 like active casters, I think, in like, what is it, six different languages, I think we usually have.
Quite a few, yeah.
Yeah, English, French,
European,
Spanish,
European.
Turkish, German, Polish. I think those are the, yeah.
Yeah, no, you built something quite good, to be honest with you, because this is definitely the biggest player-made tournament in CB, which is, pat yourself on the back for that one. Really important question: when's Amya going to do a casting?
Yeah, good question. Amya, when are you gonna do a cast?
I really don't. I like to co-cast, but I don't like to cast. I'm a really lazy person. Whenever I do something and I watch something, I really like to. I never do something fully. When I watch a series or something, I really like to alt tab. Even if I do something, even when I play, I like to do something else at the same time.
Nice.
Casting is definitely not for me.
I like it. Well, co-casting is definitely a thing, so it would be really cool to get you in sometimes. You can also switch between the French cast and the English cast if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get you in here this Sunday if you got some time. That will be cool.
Okay.
Yeah, good idea, Echoes. I like it.
Yeah, it's always good fun just making fun of people as well. I notice that works when it goes, because casting can be quite, I'm guessing, difficult, because if fingers go silent, then it just isn't very good. So you obviously need to keep talking. So making fun of people is always a good thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah, and you need some. Well, you don't need it, but it's really cool if you get some synergy going on, right? I feel
Yeah.
Echoes and I think we've been bouncing off pretty nicely in the stream. I think like one of us is mostly doing like maybe some play-by-play, and then the other one is filling in the gaps. Or I feel like we are always like looking at different things when we are casting the game, which is good, because if 2 casters that are on the same game watch the same like play that's happening, then you're always gonna miss so many other plays, and that's always what will happen when you're solo casting as well. You'll just miss so much. And Amya, you already said it, like you've rewatched some of the games and you'll just notice that some of your plays aren't even in there, or no one has watched those. So and that's bound to happen, because the game is just that big as well when you play on the map.
Yeah, the thing is that some things aren't so much visual, and you cannot cast them so good. Like for example, as tournament, I would say you will need 3 camera, one for the main fight, one for the split fight, and a third camera that is in tactical view, so from top to bottom, perma in a corner, so people can see what's happening, what curve is flanking, how people are respawning. Because sometimes the little thing, like sometimes the best action of the game won't be like a hussar front charge or whatever. It will just be a guy that is taking the perfect pathing to flank the range, like dodging everything, dodging the range, dodging the cuff, and finding the best path. And it's something that people don't like, especially to watch, I think, but that the people that try hard the tournament like to analyze, or really understand the tournament game mode like to watch, but it's a really little part of the people. But I
Yeah.
think the tactical view should definitely be on every stream, but it's hard to make because it requires a PC, it requires one more caster, and it's really
Yeah,
hard.
exactly. So at one point I tried like, because there is like software like video.ninja, if you want to check it out, it's really cool software where you can just get a link from someone who's screen sharing. You can get the link, put it in OBS, and then you would have their perspective on the game. So I tried using that, but if you do it like that, it takes so much on your CPU. Like my PC legit just crashed 2 times that stream, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was just too much on it. So and my internet connection is really good. Like so that's not the issue, but just
I guess it requires a more of a
PC.
professional setup. When
Yeah,
you have,
exactly.
Like, the PC to play, and then another PC that is
Yeah.
only for streaming and
Exactly.
everything of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and then you're talking about basically a professional broadcast. So yeah, it's that's gonna be pretty hard, but maybe we might get it someday. And I think it's also really cool to have like just 2 players on every team, or maybe just 1 player on every team within a game to have their perspective as well all the time. That you can just pop it up. If, for example,
Your camera.
yeah, just if we know that Amya's in the game, we're gonna have Amya because he's always sitting on the flank. If we know that we have Dan in the game, we're always gonna have camera from Dan because we know he's going to make some big plays, right? Just that you can like turn it on and off during the game would be so cool. So we'll see.
Definitely
Maybe.
next level
agree.
stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe for the later of esports CB, but like you said, I think where is going cyber esport wise is not so great in terms of you talked about CBL. You know, you're waiting for CBL, and I just had on the meeting with the CM that we have every season. It's like we talk with them about CBL because, in my opinion, the tournament of CB is what keeps the game alive. It's what gives the most advertisement for the game. Because the game isn't doing so much advertisement.
Yeah.
The thing that advertises the most is probably the tournament, the video, the montages, and obviously the stream.
Yeah.
So we talked about them with that, and they said, we are not even talking about CBL right now in the CM meeting, so I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, you definitely don't want your game to success. It's insane. Because the pace that they are doing CBL, for what CBL is, I talked with CM, but like the last CBL was the biggest clown fiesta ever. I don't know if you know about it a bit, but I can say the 3 top things that were the most clown fiesta ever. They changed the map 1 day before the tournament, so people screamed it for like 1 month, 2 months, and then they changed the map the day before the match. Then they had at some point, you need to make the ban between team captain, and they had no person to do it. It was one guy that he never did it of his life, and he go into the channel with the team captain and he said, "Hi guys, I'm new. There is no one to do the ban. What are the rules?" ? And the player needed to explain the rules of his own tournament to the organization team. So I was like, yeah, that is definitely
Amazing.
some professional work.
Yeah, that's
And
just,
then the camera and everything about that. But we really talked about it, and they were like, we like that organization because they bring a professional things, and I like, how can CB Rivals, that is legit only made by player on the game with the main game and nothing else, can be 20 million times more professional than your professional tournament sponsored by my games and paid, they probably paid that company like 8 or 10k euro for that tournament, and I'm like,
I'm pretty sure it's
like-
more, but yeah.
yeah, and I'm like, we legit did it for free, 20 times better a league that is doing it every week, and it's 20 million times more professional.
Yeah.
I was like, at this point, just get player to organize CBL, it will be like already better.
Yep.
So yeah, CBL, they don't do it. The new season, they are doing a longer break. Why not? I don't really know about that because
Yeah, it's
I
been
think
kinda
every
weird.
break
Yeah.
they lose more and more players. If you look at every time they do a break,
Yeah, that
they
is weird.
lose 100 or 200 players, and that 100 or 200 players, they never come back to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Does
in my
happen.
opinion, people play CB because they are a bit of addicted. You know, they have
Oh yeah.
their friend on the game. They are really addicted to the grinding. But once you, especially in summer, in this time, once you get out of CB, you stop playing it for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, and then you're like, yeah, this game, I only remember the bad part and I don't want to play
Yeah.
it, and then you stop it forever. And
Yeah. Well,
that's what most people
exactly.
do and most
yeah,
veterans
or you
do,
go
I
back
think.
and you realize, oh damn, the grind was really really hard. Maybe I can
Yes.
chill more in another game. Yeah, but still,
Yeah.
the like you said, CB Rivals or CB Rivals, the Conquerors Blade is just also a game that is not there in any other game. Like the way it works and also how you work together with such a big team, both competitively and in territorial wars, is uncomparable. I think in many ways.
Yes.
So and
It's
but yeah, it's really
really
sad to see, and I think so many times have we talked about this subject as well, where it's like, how can you get more players when the game developer itself or the publisher is not really actively promoting its game?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
It's true.
it's the player that try the hardest, and
Mhm.
I don't think it will. If you look at the graph, if you are not delusional, you know that this game will, at some point, apart if they do a big communication system, will doing a big update.
Mhm.
This game, if I will phrase it like that, if nothing changed, this game is gonna die 100%. One
Yeah.
to the dope. It's
Yeah, and
the
it might be slowly because so many people are addicted to it and will keep playing. But at some
yes.
point, it will go down slowly. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and that's the sad part, because if you look at some game, even really old, look at Dota, look at like old games. These games are, even if they are old, they keep living because players love it,
Mhm.
and there is not much bad points that get you off the game. But like here, that's the problem for this game. The main problem, and I would say, is that the new players aren't happy and the veteran players aren't happy.
Mhm.
Like every game, they choose to, they choose to babysit a bit one of these two community, either the new player, either the veteran player.
Mhm.
And CB is probably the only game that I ever played where nobody's happy. Like the new player aren't happy and the veteran aren't happy. So I'm like, just select a side and make someone really happy, so at least one of your community will stay mostly forever, or new people will come. Or at least, if you make a lot of moves for new player, more new player will come, and then more new player will stay, obviously. If you make a lot of moves for veteran, maybe some new player that really want to try it, they say, oh, this game, they really do great job for veteran, so I will, even if it's hard, I will keep the
then they'll
grind,
always stay forever. Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to make one of two choice, and the
Mhm.
game isn't making. So right now we are legit losing 100 or 200 players per month,
Mhm.
and at this pace we are gonna have 0 player in 1 year or 2 years. So yeah, so it's a bit scary, but whatever. I really enjoyed the time on Conqueror
Yeah,
Blade.
for sure. Yeah, so let's just make sure that we, the players, continue CB Rivals and all the other competitions that are being organized by the community as well, because they definitely do keep the game alive. That's what I
Yes.
keep hearing from all the guys that are DMing me. So
For tournaments, if you like, as the player that played and win the most tournament, Y2 tournament, I would have left the game since a long time. Like, and
Oh,
it's the case, I know, for most tournament player. And the thing with this tournament player is that these tournament player are the YouTube montage boys. So these players are promoting the game. These players are streaming.
yeah.
So if you delete the tournament player part, firstly, the feedbacks to CM and devs will like be really bad. Then there is less YouTube video, less stream, and yeah, tournament is what keep the game alive,
Mhm.
at least for now. So yeah, if you stop tournament, I think the game is dying probably 2 or 3 times faster. Like no video, no
Mhm.
stream, it's already
Yeah,
GG.
definitely. Like the amount of content that this creates is huge, or it can be
Yeah.
huge. It could be even bigger and better, but we'll see. All right, we're gonna slowly close this podcast out, but I want to end on a positive note. So Echoes, what you got?
To be fair, I'm really happy Amya's here. Like, I don't. How long have I known you for now, Amya? Like since season 5. I think now.
I played seasons 2 for only a bit and only TW, and then season 5 I really played Siege Ranked for at least 4 season. Yeah.
Yeah, I've known you a long time, so it's always good having a little bit of a catch up with you, and
Yes.
obviously dropping you the odd message about Dual Blade here and there. So yeah, it's always fun to watch you as well, dude. Like every tournament match, or even like normal sieges and like territory wars and stuff, like out of nowhere, Amya will release a montage or will do something crazy, and it's always entertaining to watch because you're doing things that no other Dual Blades are really doing. So it's always good
That's
to get
the main
like
thing, and yeah, that's getting on my reputation since I'm always trying the greediest thing that you can. It's
Yeah.
either win, either lose, and the thing is that the more you get experience, the more you win. But yeah, at some point it was really. Right now, I would say I'm way less of a conflict player, but at some point I was like the most conflict player. It's like either you end 20-0, either you end 0-20. It's no middle choice.
Exactly.
It's
I think I think it is your Scourge of Winter montage of that's the first time I found out you could jump off like onto the ladders off the wall,
Oh yeah.
kill people, and yeah, I just remember your montage and it was just like 10 clips of that, and it's just crazy. It was always fun to watch.
That's the main thing. Yeah, so that I said it from my old games, the tryhard and the
Yeah.
custom games. I'm probably one of the really few players that start custom games to find every mechanic and everything on
Nice.
maps. So whenever people see it on my montage, they're also always like, whatever montage you look like, you see on the comments at least 2 or 3 or 5 people asking, how do you do that? What is this trick? What the fuck is that? How do you do that? And yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
pretty
mind
sure I've been
sharing.
It's
I
always
don't
good,
mind
man.
sharing with people, so it's alright.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
and-
always entertaining and good.
Absolutely, and the ladders absolutely life saving. Like they change your Conquerors Blade life in so many ways. So
Yeah.
if you don't know about it, make sure to check it out because yeah, dropping down ladders, best thing ever. All right, Amya, last thing from you.
I don't know. I don't have what much to say. I'm really happy to be interviewed with you. It was a really great time, and I'm really happy that I could have talked with you and share the experience that I had on tournament.
Yeah, sure thing. And yeah, I just want to say thank you for being the GOAT of Conquerors Blade right now. We need players that can establish a legacy. It creates more attention to any game if we have players like you and team captains
Thank you,
and
thank you.
teams and a competition that's there, that's being consistent. Because like we said in the discussion,
Yeah, a story basically.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
the main thing.
We need that story. We need to maintain the players and the veterans, and hopefully this is what keeps us going. So I have pretty good hopes for the community as a whole, and CB Rivals will definitely continue. So let's just keep going until we cannot go on anymore, and we'll see what happens then. But that's for later.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much again. It's been a blast, and I hope to see you on Sunday.
See ya.
Thank you.
All right. See you, man.